and welcome back to Music Movies. Now, watching all these movies again has really gotten my interest up. I mean, look at this pile of movies. Problem is, if I just talk about musicals, too much is going to get left out. So, thank God for the lifting of arbitrary limitations. My show, my rules. So, seeing as my only rule is each movie must have at least 5 songs to qualify, we go from this size pile of movies to this size pile of movies. Now, we all remember the Disney classics, from Snow White to Toy Story. But what is it that we remember most about them? Is it the memorable characters? The story? The animation? Well, yes, and yes, but there's something else. Something else that gives us an even more deep and emotional response. It's the songs. The Disney movies have a tradition since the early days of having a ton of musical numbers in their movies, not only as entertainment, but also to make the movie as memorable as possible, and boy did they succeed. It seems that every movie they produce had at least one song that's become famous, or in some cases, remembered more than the movie itself. Today though, I want to talk about one of the most beloved animated movies from what my generation calls the real Disney Renaissance, Aladdin. Aladdin will be remembered as one of the all-time greats in Disney's lineup of animated features, and it had it all. Action, adventure, comedy, romance, music, and it could even get legitimately scary at times. It follows loosely the character of Aladdin from 1001 Nights of Arabian Folklore. We all know the story. Street urchin Aladdin, infatuated with the princess, comes across a magic lamp. Rubbing said lamp produces a genie, spelled D-J-I-N-N-I by the way, which can grant him 3 wishes, which he uses to woo the princess and eventually marry her. The original story involves a lot of betrayal and revenge, and the Disney version is surprisingly very similar in that respect and not dumbed down as much as you might think. The music in the Disney films of this era were all outstanding, thanks in no small part to songwriter Alan Menken and lyricist Tim Rice. Longtime Disney lyricist Howard Ashman began with the project but sadly died during production, and as a result, only 6 of the original 14 songs made it into the film. And while the long periods of the movie without musical numbers are noticeable and now pretty depressing with that knowledge, the remaining songs are no less than gems. A true diamond in the rough. So let's dive right in and see what makes Aladdin such a showstopper.
Oh, I come from a land, from a faraway place.
As in all great musicals, it's up to the introductory song to set the stage for the entire movie, and that is no small feat. The song Arabian Nights does this multiple ways. First, it's performed in classic Hollywood Arabian fashion with that classic drum beat and sweeping strings coinciding with the reveal of the sprawling city of Agrabah. It also blends its serious lyrics and a few silly ones, so you don't have to worry about taking the rest of the movie too seriously. It is, after all, a kid's movie, but there's enough in here for grown-ups to enjoy as well. And if there was any doubt in your mind that this movie wouldn't be goofy, please welcome to the stage Mr. Robin Williams!
Too close.
Robin Williams plays the peddler here and the genie later, and is a complete show stealer in both roles. The peddler shows us the infamous lamp and begins his tale.
It begins on a dark night, where a dark man waits with a dark purpose.
He was a dark, tall man with his dark parrot Iago in the darkest part of the desert. Okay, I'll stop.
You are late.
This is Jafar, a dark man with a dark... Okay, fine. Jafar, the vizier to the Sultan of Agrabah, has been hunting down this magical lamp for God knows how long, and it's hidden in a cave called the Cave of Wonders. The cave makes it known that only one may enter, the so-called diamond in the rough. And look at this guy. Does he look like a diamond in the rough? A cord in the turn, maybe, but not a diamond in the rough. Certainly not. Unsurprisingly, the cave rejects him and kills him. Wow. Maybe this movie wasn't as kid-friendly as I remember. And we're also introduced to Iago, another source of comic relief, and believe me, with Jafar around, you need all the levity you can get. The guy is evil, pure and simple. He knows what he wants, and that's power, and he doesn't care who has to die to get it as he seeks out his diamond in the rough. And of course, who should we be introduced to right after hearing that phrase than Aladdin, our implausibly good-looking and well-groomed homeless street urchin who is, being chased by those wacky guards again for stealing some bread. Abu, you delightful simian ragamuffin.
Come on, let's get out of here. Gotta keep one jump ahead of the bread line.
Disney loves these songs that tell a story or follow the action. A song like this would be impossible in anything but a cartoon. Just in case any of you kids out there want to try leading a troop of trained guards armed with swords on a madcap romp through the streets, it's just a cartoon. This song is a near masterpiece of matching the song to the action. It's well sung, well acted, well animated, and just seeing it makes me smile. It's got a load of action in it, so you're really glued to the screen for the entire sequence. The performances by everyone involved in this song just make it one of the most engaging songs in the movie yet, and we're only at the second one. This movie isn't famous for its soundtrack for no reason, you know, guys. As you may have noticed already, Aladdin is joined by a little fez-wearing capuchin monkey, Abu, who has a problem. Abu is a kleptomaniac. Even after all that, ends up giving his food to those more needy than himself. You see, that's what a street urchin looks like, guys. Not this, this. By all rights, you should hate Abu. He's a lying little trickster that steals, but... Oh, look at him. Too late to try and redeem yourself, Squirt. Enjoy your monkey-stained bread, kids. There's a quick little reprise of One Jump Ahead here, as Aladdin still has to cope with the fact that, as grandiose as his imagination may be, he is but a lowly street rat. But perhaps, just perhaps, there's a little more to him than that. A diamond in the rough, perhaps?
They'd find out there's so much more to me.
Meanwhile, at stately Wayne Manor, we meet the beautiful and surprisingly tantalizing Princess Jasmine. She's all pissy because the Sultan is trying to get her married since law dictates that she must be married by her 18th birthday in order to keep the royal family strong. She is also only allowed to marry a prince, so a long line of suitors from all over the world come to unsuccessfully woo the sultry little vixen. She's far too independent to be forced to marry, much less be coddled behind palace walls all her life. So she slips out of the castle under cover of night to seek a new life elsewhere. It's inexplicably daytime as Jasmine revels in the world she's been missing, and someone who looks like that, amongst people who look like this, he's gonna stand out and soon catches the eye of our hero. Not knowing how things work in the real world, she plucks an apple off a nearby cart for a hungry child and gets branded as a thief. But of course, our quick-witted hero swoops in to save the day, as well as her hand, and spirits her off away to his hideout. Jafar, all the while, has his own intentions, however, and discovers through magical means that the diamond in the rough the Cave of Wonder spoke of is, yes indeed, you guessed it, Abu. I mean, look at this little face. How can it be anyone else? Oh, okay, fine, it's Aladdin. After some awkward romance, the guards bust up their little party and, despite Jasmine's protests, lock Aladdin away and return the princess to the castle. Man, it's been a while since our last musical number. I mean, this movie is known for its music, right? The first 20 minutes of the movie are absolutely rife with them, and it feels like it's going to be following the classic Disney formula of their musical numbers to cushion the narrative. So Jafar, being the manipulative little weasel that he is, informs Jasmine that her beloved Aladdin has been put to death for kidnapping the princess. However, he's relatively safe and sound in the dungeon, and has made fast friends with a crazy old coot who says he can show him the way out of the dungeon and lead him to a cave containing untold riches. The ever-crafty and streetwise Aladdin suddenly becomes gullible, dumber than a sack of hammers Aladdin, and instantly believes him.
Nothing but the lamb.
Remember, boy, first fetch me the lamp, and then you shall have your reward.
You better tie up Abu. A friendly magic carpet cozies up to them, so I guess the cave is okay with them touching that, but everything else off limits. And I could sure go for a song right about now. Aladdin finally finds the lamp just as Abu's willpower drains, bringing the entire cave crashing down. Their new buddy, Magic Carpet, I call him MC. Be tight like that. It flies them to safety, and Aladdin deftly delivers the lamp to the crazy old man who knew way more than he should have, but shock and awe, he turns on them. Can you believe it? So poor Aladdin, Abu, and MC are stuck in the cave for eternity as Jafar realizes he's been triple-crossed and still doesn't have the lamp he's been jonesing for.
No!
Oh, Boo, you little dickens.
Looks like such a beat-up, worthless piece of junk. Hey, I think there's something written here, but it's hard to make out.
Enter the main reason why this movie is remembered so well, the big, blue, badass genie, played again by Robin Williams. This is where the movie really starts to shine. It takes a pretty sharp tonal shift from semi-serious to wacky and surreal.
Wait a minute. I'm your master?
That's right! He can be taught!
Whoever rubs Genie's lamp becomes his master and will be granted 3 wishes. But for some reason, even after seeing Genie teleport, shapeshift, fly, and being a 50-foot tall, floating, blue, preternatural being, is dubious. So Genie lays it all on the line for him.
So why don't you just...
Why yes, it has been a while since our last musical number. Thank you, movie.
Well, Alibaba had them 40 thieves. Scheherazade had 1,000
The song Friend Like Me is probably the only thing in this entire movie that Robin Williams didn't improvise. But I wouldn't be shocked if it was altered somehow by his influence.
Heavy ammunition in your camp. You got some punch. Job you and house, all you gotta do.
It's a big Cab Calloway style song, making it a bit more clear to the dimwit that yes indeed, he has his very own wish-making factory at his constant disposal. Do you want women? Money? Power? Strawberries? The world?
Of course!
The fast pace of the song itself, coupled with the freak show going on, makes for a hypnotizing spectacle. It seems like you always see something new every time you watch it, or find something that you missed. There's one line, however, that I never ever understood in this song. One that made singing along with this an impossibility as a kid.
I'm on the job, you big nabob.
What? The closest I could get was, "You're bent, eh, Bob?" I never thought to look up the lyrics until now, and the phrase is, "You big nabob." Nabob. Nabob. What the fuck is a nabob? Oh. Thanks.
You never had a friend like me.